All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. We are very excited for our team call tonight to introduce you to someone brand new on our team, a brand new product user. And her name is Devina Fitzpatrick. So we are going to have you guys mute yourselves if you could, please, and get going here. Okay, Devina is someone that I received a phone call that any one of us on this call would be excited to get. I was actually going to ask Devina if I could play the recording. I saved the voicemail that I received from her because those are the type of voicemails that any one of us would be thrilled to get. Basically reaching out saying, I want to know more and see if this is a fit for me. It's not very often that we get someone that direct saying, I want to know more about the business. I'm hoping that this is going to complement what I'm already doing. I'm like, oh okay. So that is like a breath of fresh air to actually have someone proactively reach out to you. So yes, I'm excited. Yes, I'm thrilled to introduce you to her, and you guys are going to find out real quick why. I have not worked with someone with this much enthusiasm to lift others up in a while. And so the fact that I get to have her share a little bit of her experience so far is something that is it's an honor for me to be able to allow her to do that with you guys tonight, and I just can't wait for you guys to get to know her. So we're going to start off with Devina just kind of giving a little bit about her background. So let's start with that, Devina. Some of your struggles, just tell a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2012, and I probably had it for about 5 years prior to that. I'd had some experience, some symptoms that I didn't really know, and the doctors didn't really know what they were. So it's something that I have struggled with: weaknesses, fatigue like no other, body aches, and just overall inflammation in my body that attacks my nervous system. So so that's kind of like my background, and you know, my aunt, who actually introduced me to, I wanted to call it ionics. Well, that is what it was. That's what she introduced me to, was the ionics, but Isogenics. She has been asking me for a couple of years, not like, hey, you got to try this, like years. She's been saying, hey, you've got to try this. And I have been saying, okay, well, everybody tells me that. Everybody has the cure. Like, everybody knows how to make me feel better. Okay. But I never did anything. I was like, yeah, okay, if you want to send me something. And I never had enough enthusiasm for her to invest. And that's like the honest truth. But I went to visit her in May, and we were on vacation. I was there with my son and my mom, and I hit a wall on vacation. I hit a wall out in Spokane. As you know, there's like lots of great trails and places to go. And I found myself not being able to get back because I just hit a fatigue wall. Like my body was done. So they had to go get the ATV to come get me back to the house. And I tried an Ionic Supreme, and within 20 minutes, like, I felt my body start to like wake back up, like my senses, I can't even explain the dulling that I feel when I get hit with like a freight train of fatigue. I get numbness, I get tingling, I get weakness where like I couldn't grip a pen. And I just started to feel better, and I didn't quite identify it until the next day when I had an e-shot. And when I had an e-shot, I was like, wow, there's something to this. So needless to say, my vacation went great because I had this like boost that she gave me. Um, Periodically, just she gave me a box and she's like, here, take this home, take it whenever you want, do your thing. And then I had interest at that point. I brought it home with me. I used it for like a month, and that was it.
Yeah.
E-shot and Ionic Supreme. That's all I had tried.
Yeah.
And that right there was like, okay, there's something to this. There is something about isogenics I need to know more about.
That's what's so funny is because I didn't realize that it had only been a couple of products, Ionic Supreme, E-shots, and maybe some Hydrate. I think you might have tried a little bit of that or something.
I tried Hydrate, but I didn't like, she didn't send me home with any. Like that's
Yeah.
not, I had tried it and it was really good. And,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool, I could drink this, boost my water intake. But that was it. That was
Yeah.
experience of what I felt was from those two products.
So after experiencing such a noticeable difference in your fatigue, kind of that lift of fatigue that you experienced, what made you reach out to me to find out more?
Well, I am in a network marketing business. I do cosmetics. We are like it's called pharmacy, but it's not spelled like pharmacy. It's a European-based cosmetic company, and it's very new to the United States, like less than 2 years. It's been around for 70 years, and I wanted to find something that I could do and promote and partner with that would complement cosmetics, and health and wellness complements it. What I did not expect is that more than anything, isogenics was going to be the one thing that I really wanted to do. Might cry. I didn't expect that. So like I'm in a whole learning curve right now of like, I love what I do. I love cosmetics. I love making people feel beautiful and showing them how to feel beautiful, and encouraging them to just be who they are. But even more than that, like feel good on the inside, so much better. And
Absolutely. Yes.
it's mind blowing. It's emotional because it has impacted not just my life, but like my family.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to have you share next is, you, after having a conversation with you on Zoom, I knew that you were very serious about this because it was already an emotional experience with just a couple of products. You hadn't even, implemented the system yet. And so once you got your products ordered, and by the way, Devina was very smart, very strategic and patient. Before she placed her order, she wanted to know what was the smartest decision business-wise going into this. And what I love about that is that she's been so open, so coachable. Even though she's been in the network marketing field for some time now, she had ears and eyes wide open, heart wide open to learning, how do you guys do this? And what do you suggest? So after talking to her, and we did a 3-way Zoom with Carol, and I introduced her to Carol, we explained to her that, people are going to do what you do. And so from day one, it's all about duplication. She saw the value in the value pack, and she also saw the value in the strategy of getting her husband started along with her. So after implementing the system, even just the shakes, what kind of things did you start to experience, not only for yourself, but your husband and a young son? He's 7 years old, is that correct?
He is 7 years old.
So starting out with you and your husband and your son using these products, what shifted and what were you most excited about?
So I know we're not supposed to say that it treats anything. I know that's really important. However, my son has ADHD, and he takes a medication that suppresses his appetite. And for school, they want him to take an afternoon dose to help him get through the afternoon because they felt like it was wearing off, which was not the case. It was not at all the case. Because his appetite was suppressed, he was hangry, and his brain didn't know he was hungry, but his body was screaming for nutrition. And in those instances, like, I knew he's hungry, give him something he wants to eat, but give him something that tastes good, give him something that, and so we had kind of like gotten to this place of acceptance where, like, Cliff Kids bars, give him a Cliff Kid bar, he'll be okay. Which is not like the most nutritious thing ever. It's got lots of sugar. It's better than some, but it's not great. And now he's like excited to have a shake in the morning. He's excited to have his Decadence bars. That's what I pack in his lunchbox. He's excited for his protein chips. Like, he's excited to eat. And because he's excited to eat these things, it has also increased his appetite to want to eat like a meal. When it's time to eat a meal, it's time to sit down and have dinner. Like, he's more willing to say, oh, I'll eat chicken and broccoli. Like, his body is now accepting what it was rejecting, because he was on this appetite suppressant because he needed that for focus for school, so that he could be calm, so that he can listen to the teacher. But it was suppressing his appetite. It was suppressing what his body needed, like the signals of his body saying, hey, I'm hungry, feed me. He didn't recognize that. So he would fight me and say, I'm not hungry, Mom, I'm not hungry. But to be able to give him, say, a smoothie, I give it to him with frozen fruit. Strawberry is his favorite. He's getting a milkshake. Like, he thinks he's getting a milkshake. I know he's getting a nutritious meal, and I'm just thrilled. I pack him a Decadence bar and whey thins and some apple slices and peanut butter in his lunchbox. And I'm like, give him that. Before you send him to the nurse to get his afternoon dose, make sure he's had something to eat. And, they have sent him to the nurse, and I've asked them, but did he eat? And when they finally caught on that if he ate, it was so much better. Like, it has changed. It has made such a huge difference. And I know, doesn't say that we're allowed, it's not recommended. I give him a little bit of apple juice, and I put in half a scoop of Ionic Supreme, and I shake it up and I put it in his lunchbox, and I say, you know what, have that at lunch. And it makes a difference. And I'm not giving him a medication that is ultimately hurting his body, because that's the truth. It's ultimately, yes, it helps him to focus, but it's not for his body. Like, there are other ways. So he gets his morning dose of medicine, but then he doesn't get that afternoon dose, and it makes a difference. And it's
yeah.
Happy.
When you shared that with me, I had tears well up in my eyes, because as a mom, there's nothing better than, after fearing that you are not doing your son justice by getting the nutrition he needs, after fear of, possibility of people thinking that you're not doing what you should for him. I mean, there's so many things that go through our heads as parents. Absolutely. When we're trying to do our best. And when there is something that has caused an obstacle to get nutrition into our children. I mean, I think back when I was little, and I'm like, I used to tell myself, don't beat yourself up, you survived on top ramen and hot dogs, like those kind of things. But to be able to put a perfect meal in my child's body, I mean, there's nothing better. And like you said, to eliminate possible medication, yes, we don't make any claims whatsoever. And even with your MS, I've told Devina that, she has been concerned that, not a lot of people are going to relate with my story because they don't have MS. But I said, you know what? A lot of people have fatigue. A lot of people are looking for more energy. And a lot of people, just need a pick-me-up. and maybe they're surviving off of coffee or energy drinks or whatever. So there's ways to implement your story, even if you do have a medical condition that you're overcoming and finding benefits. What do you think for yourself, besides the fatigue, have you noticed since using the products for yourself? I know your son, that has been number one. That has been so exciting. But for you, what about you?
Well, for me, I am, so a lot of things go back to MS for me. Because I have multiple sclerosis, I have mobility issues, and I have started the process of getting a weight loss surgery because I can't burn the calories that a normal person that can exercise can do. And even just because my weight has gotten to a certain point, like even just exercising in small increments is difficult for me. So I started using the system, we'll call it the system, not just the shakes, the system. And my body composition started to change. That was the first thing. And I realized that I was starting to let go of things, like not necessarily, I was losing weight, not like a rapid amount of weight, not to where my body composition was changing. Like it didn't quite match up, I guess, like the pounds coming off as opposed to like how my body was changing. But my inflammation in my body overall was reducing. And I could tell that it was just making me feel better and I was losing weight. And when I did go to my doctor and say, hey, I'm on this, they said, great, if you still want to do this weight loss surgery, this is what you need to be on, because it gives me the nutrition that I will need to supplement with anyways. Like they would basically put me on a supplement system to have this. If I would be lifelong on a supplement system, and this is something way better than what they were going to give me.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. And I remember you saying something to me, and I appreciated that you shared this with me, because it was almost like you were having this battle, this mental battle, like, wait a second, I got to the point, which was a bad point, that they were going to agree to go forward with this surgery. And it was almost like, you know, a relief to you in a way that you were finally going to get to go forward with that and have a solution to your problem. And I just, you know, you were afraid that maybe you weren't going to be able to go forward with your journey of the weight loss surgery if you continued to lose weight. And it was like this funny moment, like, wait a second, what if?
Absolutely.
What if? And you were like, I'm open to what if. So that was good.
Absolutely changed between now and then. Like I could get to a point where I have lost weight on this system, on this food, that I don't no longer qualify for the surgery. That could change because I'm still months in, you know, there's still months to go. And I'm okay. I admittedly, I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to get this taken away from me. But that was a moment and it fled. It was gone. So I'm thrilled. I'm ecstatic. My husband comes home and he gets his shake, and sometimes that's what he has for his dessert, because he has a sweet tooth. It used to be like ice cream every night. Now it's a shake. So like to be honest, like we have more in our pantry of isogenics than we do in our refrigerator of food right now. Like that is our food.
We can relate, Devina. So it seems shocking at first, like you don't realize how much it's going to actually reallocate groceries. And so, and you said that if you were to add it up, you'd probably start seeing a big shift in the money spent on groceries and how it's shifting to isogenics to be supplementing and filling in the gaps there. Yeah. Hey, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but behind Devina, I'm seeing a little bit of a display going on there. That's new.
It is new. I had my husband put that up today. I was like,
That's
I've got all
super
these empty
cool.
bottles. I need this on the wall.
Okay,
So I
so
had him
that
put that
leads
up today.
into this. So, okay, so now because you saw that this is possible, isogenics is possible, to not only complement what you're already doing in network marketing with the all natural cosmetics, what has impressed you the most about the business model and the way you're seeing how we build in isogenics?
Oh, so much. So I've done this kind of thing for well over a decade, with pharmacy only the last year. But the way that isogenics, I'm still trying to understand it completely. I'm still trying to understand how it all goes, how it all works, because it's unlike anything else I've ever done. The support, the training, the content, the just the reach out, the way that we reach our customers is completely different than anything that I've ever done. Like, to just say, hey, I thought of you and I thought you'd really love this is not, they like, I've always been steered clear of that completely. So it's a complete learning curve. I know what, I don't know what I'm doing. To be completely honest, I have no clue what I'm doing right now. Like, I am a fish out of water. I felt like I was really good at creating content and doing this, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like brand spanking new. Like, and it is kind of a learning curve for me because I don't know what I'm doing, and I do have a customer base already, which I would like to shift, like same customers, but in all honesty, like this is where I want them. And I still want to do my cosmetics and I still want to do my skincare, but this is where I want them because this will change their life. The makeup will make them feel great, and I can teach them how to do it. I can teach them how to wash their face and use good skincare, but I can tell you, in a week and a half of me using the collagen, I didn't have to put concealer on today to hide my hyperpigmentation. Like, my mind is blown.
It has been so fun to talk to you, Devina. Every time we touch base each week, the things that are blowing your mind, it's so fun to see you go through this process. And one of the first conversations we had after you started to use the products in it, you hadn't even implemented collagen yet. You were interested in it, but you were like, my skin, I'm noticing something with my skin. It's brighter, something. And then you're like showing your friend, do you see my skin? I said, Devina, we have a name for that. Actually, we call it the Isoglow. And so it was pretty funny because just seeing someone go through that process and reignites like my fire of why we do this. So every person that we share with, we're hoping can have the, aha moments and the life-changing experience that you're having. And so that's why I think spotlighting someone on our team call like this is so fun and so important, because there's been many of us on here that we know that we're not going to get yeses every day, but we know how every single no is getting us closer to a yes, like Devina. So for us to have that, see that excitement, that passion, that fire, it's going to light us up every time we hear an experience like this. And from the very beginning, I said, Devina, you know what? Yes, not everyone's going to have MS. Not everyone's going to be at the door of a possible weight loss surgery. Not everyone's going to have a son that has a issue with eating and now, eats. But we're a collector of stories. And we've talked about this a lot in our trainings. We know that. And for you to start collecting stories, each one of these people that are beautiful people that I get to work with on this call, you're going to learn their stories. and start adding that to your collection. So that's what makes this so fun. And I want to open it up to you guys and ask some questions, because we just touched on like a bare minimum of Devina's story so far. So if you have a question for Devina, I would love for you to unmute and introduce yourself and go for it. Just unmute yourself if you can. I know somebody has to have a question.
I'll let. Okay, so Devina, it's Carol.
Hi.
Oh my goodness. Here's what I knew. And I didn't, I just knew that once you gave it a shot, and here's the thing that is so unique is you did it and you took the product like it was intended to. And this product is life altering. And really, I could tear up too, honey, because there are people out there. Tonight, I'm going to send this to my friend who has MS. So there's so many people that need this, and you're going to be that spark and that light for so many. And I just want to thank you. I am beyond excited for who you are and the lives you're going to change, and how we get to partner with you and just walk right next to you. It is going to be such a great journey. I cannot wait to give you a hug in person, and I cannot wait to take you into corporate and for you get to really see the inside of how this Isogenics system, the owners, how it works. So there is going to be a space for that. Remind me where you live, Devina.
In Arizona, Tucson, Arizona.
You're too close.
I am.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, you're too close. We're going to come down and we're going to do a tour.
Sounds great.
And you will get to meet Jim and Kathy. So we'll figure that out. But thank you so much.
Thank you. And I am excited, and I teared up just knowing that you were going to share this with somebody and it could possibly help them, because it really has. I didn't share this part. About almost a month ago, I had a reaction to my therapies for my multiple sclerosis, and I have not been on therapies for almost a month. So I have been managing it with this nutrition. Like, I have been managing my inflammation and the weight, my fatigue. I've been managing everything without being on the therapies. Now, I wouldn't suggest that to anybody. However, that is what I have been doing while I'm trying to figure out what new therapies I'm going to be on, what the insurance will approve, all of that stuff. This has been something that has really, in so many ways, like, made a big impact in my life. And almost, to be completely honest, almost in a way where I'm so afraid to mess it up and not do it right, because I want everybody to be as excited about it as I am. So I feel like that even kind of holds me back, because I'm like, I don't want to push too hard, but you really need to know about this. Like, so yeah, I mean, it's incredible. I'm glad that I finally got the opportunity to try what my aunt has been talking about, and just how fast it worked was just unbelievable.
Absolutely. And those products that you used, the Ionic Supreme and the eShot, we know that those are a couple of products that you can notice a difference almost immediately. Whereas, some people might try a shake and they're not going to have a life-changing moment. But that's why it's nice to know that something like this is something that we can have on hand and let someone try. Having eShots on hand and let someone try an eShot in a particular instance, like you said, you were on a hike and you had hit a wall. I mean, how cool is that to be able to share a sample and then it turned into something like this? So you never know what sharing a sample could turn into. So I just thought that was really neat. And I know Carol is going to really support you in that aspect when it comes to finding out from the top what this company truly is, and the integrity and it all stems from that. You know, it's a family operated company that I know you're going to fall in love with even more so once you get to appreciate the owners and the executive team and whatnot. So we do have time for another question if anyone has one.
I don't have a question per se, but I'll just go ahead and introduce myself just real quick. My name is Anthony Paskey, and I'm becoming a health and wellness coach. And there's a bunch of other stuff, but I just want to say you're looking very well put together today. And
Thank you.
it's your cosmetic products that you're repping definitely show. So well done on being a product of your product. And another thing, if you need an accountability partner, I love doing challenges. I have been challenging myself real hard as of lately. Carol and the rest of the team can attest to that. But I'm on a journey myself, getting back to a base level of physical fitness. And with COVID and just a couple other things with health, I just pretty much took a hiatus with my health, so to speak. And I'm getting back on it, focusing 100% laser focused. And accountability partners, they help so much. So I wanted to put myself out there, if nothing else, then just at a minimum, a resource.
Well, thank
Reach
you.
out to me. And if you want to do a cleanse, you want to do some kind of challenge, whether it be a sit-up, a push-up, a water drinking challenge, I love those things. I thrive on them. And for whatever it's worth, I'm here for you.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, sometimes, like I told her that we even, we'll do accountability even for taking in more water. And that can be a huge help to whoever is getting started. If they're not drinking enough water, they're not going to have the most benefits from the nutrition. So something as simple as that. And then we also, Devina, have team challenges throughout the year that we could utilize to actually bring more people in by saying, let's do like a summer shred or a pre-summer shred, or, it doesn't have to do with, always have to do with weight loss. So I just wanted to let you know that the little challenges that we do are so much fun, and we can incorporate those into our stories on social media and all kinds of fun things to kind of just bring in the energy. Because what we have found as a collective is that the community and doing this together is what keeps us going. And right. I remember you mentioning to me that you kind of felt like you were doing this on your own. Yeah. And even when you would do a so-called power hour with others that were in your company, it kind of felt like everyone was floundering and just trying to figure it out on their own. So I loved how you started to share with me differences that you're noticing already, and you haven't even got to do a live event and come together as a group, as a community. So so much more fun to come. It's not even funny. So I'm sure you will love the live events and getting together. And we have discussed, since she has family here in Spokane, that when we have our Super Saturday in October, Devina might be able to come and meet some of us here.
I'm going to try really hard. I'm going to try to, my mom's actually doing Isogenics as well. So I'm going to try really hard for her and I to go and visit my aunt, and Dorothy's the one that introduced me to Isogenics. So if that can happen, that is my goal, is to be there for the Super Saturday.
Yay. So find Devina Fitzpatrick on Facebook and send her a friend request. Are you still on a little break from social media right now?
Nope, I got back on yesterday. Okay. So
yeah, sometimes we take a little break from social media, so we all understand that. But yeah, find Devina. Her name is spelled F-I-T-Z.
Yes.
P-A-T-R-I-C-K, correct?
Yes.
Devina Fitzpatrick. And keep in mind her first name is D-E, not D-A for Devina. So
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you so much for coming on, Devina. I'm looking forward to working with you more, and we're going to try and do some group one-on-ones, some trainings, and maybe some power hours in the near future too. So thank you everyone who is on here tonight. Carol, would you like to close us out? Are you still here?
Of course I'm here, girl.
I can't see you because I have Devina spotlighted on my screen, so I can't see everyone else.
Okay. So as a leader, Danielle, I want to thank you. You're always consistent with being ahead of the game here for Monday night calls and being a fearless leader, for making sure that we all have the ability to understand first and foremost how to get on. So I always appreciate that you're leading the path. And I want you to know, as a leader, Danielle, that, you know, we are all going to new heights, and I am so excited for you as well. Devina, you have joined a group that literally is on fire, and that we look forward to where the next seasons of our life are going to go, and how many lives we're going to change, and how much fun we're going to have together. So I can't wait to see you in October, and you will meet Dr. Plant in person. And so the fact that, you know, your story tonight, impactful. And I'm just so grateful to have you a part of our team. So with that, everybody, thanks for being on tonight. For those of you who are seeing this on video, these are the stories. This is why we continue to do Isogenics and share just the legacy of the company, and what is hope, what is really people are waiting to hear from us. And so with that, Devina, thank you for being so vulnerable, so honest, and I am just grateful.
Thank you. And everyone, let's go out there and make sure we get our contacts so that we can find our Devinas in life and those that can benefit from her story. Let's do this. Thank you all.
Thanks, Devina.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful night.
Devina.
Thank you
Good
all.
night.
Good night.
Good
Thanks, Danielle.
night.